All right, guys, today let's preview the Pacific Division, one of the divisions I think became a lot more interesting in the offseason. I'm going to talk about each of these teams and where I think they'll fall in the division when the season ends. The first team we're going to talk about is the Sacramento Kings, who I think had a pretty good draft and had a really excellent draft the year before. And I think they're going to be a team that actually becomes really fun to watch. Now, this year, I kind of felt like they probably should have picked Luka Doncic when we found out that the Phoenix Suns weren't going to do it. But rumor was that Luka Doncic didn't want to play with the Sacramento Kings. And the Kings, being a smaller market team, can't afford to have a player like that who doesn't want to go there, who might cause issues and may demand some sort of trade that hurts the Kings in the long run. And where draft picks matter so much, the Kings needed to draft someone that wants to be there, that's a high-level talent that they can work with, and that was Marvin Bagley, who in the Summer League had an okay Summer League, but he showed flashes of a really compelling player that at the very least is going to be a lot of fun and can do a lot of things for the Sacramento Kings. He is kind of a tweener, a power forward center, so he can do a lot of the things that a center can, although he's not the greatest defender yet, but who's to say he doesn't become that? But he just shows you a lot of athleticism and power, and I think that if he can kind of stretch his game out and improve his handle, he becomes one of those power forwards that really handles and play makes for other players and becomes really interesting. So Marvin Bagley is going to take time to develop. He's really young, but super talented and has a chance to be really good and really fun. And the fact that you compare him with Harry Giles, who was considered a top 5 pick until he got injured, is now coming back and healthy and looked really nice in Summer League. And if you compare those two together, if they can somehow be a front court of this team and play off of each other, keep spacing on the floor while also including their athleticism and talent, become really fun at the very least. And if they take time and the Kings let them develop, they become really good and really fun. They were fun to watch in Summer League. If you didn't go watch the Kings in Summer League, you need to, because it was a blast. And then when you add in De'Aaron Fox with those two guys, who is the fastest player in the NBA and is just, he's a competitor, he's a winner, he's going to come at you every single night. I love De'Aaron Fox. He is so much fun to watch. And Bogdan Bogdanovic, who was arguably one of the best rookies in his class. So this team has a lot of pieces to develop now. And what the Kings need to do is just let that happen. Let these players develop. If you don't win a ton of games, that's okay, because giving them time to develop and grow and build chemistry together will allow them to be good in years to come. It's what you need to do. It's when teams interrupt that growth that they keep constantly staying in the same places they are. And so that's what the Kings need to do, is let them grow. Let them become what they need to be, and they'll become a really fun team to watch. The Kings are fun. Again! Next team I want to talk about is the Phoenix Suns, who this year are a must-watch League Pass team. I really liked the pick of Ayton for them. I mean, Luka Doncic will be the question mark. Should they have picked Luka Doncic? But they felt obviously like Ayton was the better player. And when you think about it, he's like 19 years old. I can't remember how old he is. He's young as could be. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But he looks like he's 27 and he's played in the NBA for years and had NBA training staffs work with his body. He is a physical specimen and has a chance to be a Joel Embiid type player. If he can develop into a defensive monster and then combine that with his already good shooting form, that he can develop to the three-point line and improve all aspects of his offensive game, Ayton becomes a monster. I love the fact that they traded for Mikal Bridges. He's a player that will play with them for 10 years and shoot 40% from three, be a long defender, 3-and-D type player on the wing that hits a high percentage from three, a smart player who wants to win, and he's already got experience under his belt. I love Mikal Bridges for the Suns. And then if you pair that with Josh Jackson, who I think eventually becomes a power forward and becomes a monster from the power forward position, and then obviously Devin Booker, this team is really interesting. And then the fact that they got Elie Okobo as well, who was slated to be a first-round pick. I can't remember if they got him in the first round or if it was the early second. But he was a really nice pickup as well and has a chance to be a nice point guard for them. Their draft was fantastic. They have a lot of young talent. They are solidifying themselves around Devin Booker, who is a bona fide scorer in this league and has a chance to score 25 points a game and will score 25 points a game. I think that's what he did last year, maybe more. He's a lights-out threat. This team is really fun. They need to learn to play defense, though. Devin Booker is going to have to be a better defender on every play. I know that he has it in him. He shows that at times he can play defense. He's got to play defense every play. And that's the culture they need to bring. And I love their new head coach, Igor Kokoskov, who has won everywhere he's went. He won the EuroLeague tournament with Luka Doncic, interestingly enough, which is why it was surprising they didn't pick Doncic, but that must be they know they got something innate, because nobody knows Luka Doncic better than Igor Kokoskov, who took them to the EuroLeague finals and beat Spain in an upset. He's a winner, and he's going to win games with this team. They are going to be really fun. They need to build a culture of defense and efficient offense. And who knows, maybe the Suns are that team that really surprise everyone this year. They've got a lot of talent. The only thing is they're very young. So they've just got to let the timeline continue to process, I guess. All right, next team I want to talk about is the LA Clippers. The Clippers are probably one of the most, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. They've got some old, nice players in Lou Williams and Tobias Harris, who was phenomenal last year, one of the best power forwards in the league with his ability to stretch the floor. He's going to be a free agent this offseason, so that'll be really interesting because he's going to get a lot of offers. He was so good for the Clippers, and interestingly enough, an upgrade to Blake Griffin. Who would have thought maybe I'd probably rather have Tobias Harris than Blake Griffin after that trade, especially with the contract. The money that Blake Griffin is making and now is hindering the Detroit Pistons is crazy. But Tobias Harris hitting a high percentage from three, stretches the floor, plays good enough defense that he's just a threat when he's on the floor. He's fantastic. And so it makes the Clippers really interesting. They're one of those teams that doesn't have a superstar but finds a way to win because all the pieces on their team are efficient. Their draft was interesting. They picked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who looked like a stud in Summer League. And so maybe they've found that next piece that they can build with this upcoming season. And also, I forgot his name. Also, Jerome Robinson, who I wasn't a big fan of. We'll see how good he is. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I did not think he was going to be that great. They liked him, and so they picked him in the middle of the first round. We'll see how he does. But this is an interesting team that needs to play well. We'll see how good they do. Is this a team that trades Tobias Harris for picks in the middle of the year if the things aren't going the way they want? Or do things go really well and they re-sign Tobias Harris? Maybe. We'll see. But they're an interesting team that was a borderline playoff team that last year. Probably a borderline playoff team this year because not much has changed. They've just filled with nice young talent. So interesting team, the Clippers. I don't think they're quite good enough to make the playoffs, mostly because the Western Conference just got tougher with the next best team in this league, the Los Angeles Lakers. And we all know who went to the Lakers. His name is LeBron James. And he is the best player in the league. Absolutely the Thanos of the NBA, and he's going to the Lakers, who have young, nice pieces, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and all the other young pieces they've been collecting. I like Josh Hart a lot. Josh Hart might have been the steal in the draft when they picked him because he is looking like an absolute stud, a beast in Summer League, and probably should be starting when the season starts. But the thing that's interesting with the Lakers is that they pick up all these veteran players, probably by request of LeBron, because LeBron is renowned for wanting to play with veteran players. We'll see if they let these players continue to grow, and maybe they get better with LeBron James. It's going to be fascinating to see how well young players play with LeBron James, because almost always he has played with veteran players, has wanted to play with veteran players. People out there argue maybe he doesn't make young players better. We're going to find out. Is Brandon Ingram going to be better? Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball. I mean, that's a fun team. It's LeBron and the kids. And if they play really well, it's going to be fun. The Lakers are back because they got the best player in the league. And that's what they do. They get superstars in LA. We'll just see if LeBron can carry that team with those young players or make the young players around him better. Will they develop? Will they not? This season is going to be really interesting. And that's the thing with the Lakers. LeBron is so good. It could be, the Western Conference is just really tough and maybe they don't make the playoffs, or maybe they become the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. The amount of variance with the Lakers of what they could and can't be is incredible. And so we just got to watch and see how good are the Showtime Lakers this year. I'm excited to watch. I hope you are. The final team, and I think we all knew who would be the top of this division, and they're the top of the NBA, is the Golden State Warriors. They're easily the best team in the NBA. No one really comes that close to them in terms of just talent. Their ability to shoot the ball. I mean, we all know. Is anyone here watching this video don't know what the Golden State Warriors do and are going to do this year? They are going to win 60 games without even trying. And the real question is, how many do they get to 70 again? Because they have Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and then they added DeMarcus Cousins. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of the DeMarcus Cousins signing, just because I think the chemistry with the big four of the Golden State Warriors plus Andre Iguodala, they didn't need it. And DeMarcus Cousins has been a problem in every locker room he's ever been in. And so if I'm the Golden State Warriors, why do I want to take on that risk? That makes me nervous if I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Now, it may just be that DeMarcus Cousins is fantastic and probably will be, but that's going to be halfway through the year when he comes back from injury, which is, by the way, one of the most devastating injuries there is in the NBA. Achilles is just honestly terrible. Ended Kobe Bryant's career, basically. He could not ever be the same after it. It destroyed Mehmet Okur's Achilles, and Okur is similar size to DeMarcus Cousins, and DeMarcus is older. And so that injury is just devastating. And so who knows? Maybe he comes in and just is devastating from down low because he's such a load. But who knows? It just feels like a risk to me that they didn't need to make. Go out and pick another player or let your young players grow. Like, why not just let Jordan Bell play center? It's his second year. He's incredibly talented. One of the steals of the draft for them. Thank you, Chicago Bulls, for just giving the Golden State Warriors more talent. But that's what I think I would have done if I'm the Golden State Warriors. Let Jordan Bell play and find, auxiliary talent that can fill in the gaps instead of signing a player that might be a problem. We'll see. But the Golden State Warriors are going to win the finals. There's no real question to that. There are a few teams that will be interesting when they play them and may challenge them a little bit. But if anyone's making a bet on anyone besides the Warriors this year, you're going to lose your money because the Warriors are that good. All-time great team. Historically great Golden State Warriors, and are going to win this division. All right, guys. If you have any comments, let me know down there. Like and subscribe this video. It's right there, the button. Click it. Subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you want to hear. We'll try to cover everything. I'm going to try to get the season previews for the next season previews for the different divisions. I will talk to you later.